What's up everyone? My name is Marcy, and if you're new to this channel, I encourage others to live with effortless ease. And if you enjoy what you hear in today's video, be sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below so you can hear more about what it means to realize your true essence. More of what it means to break free from the limits of this mind. In today's video, I want to share with you 7 of the spiritual awakening books that really helped me transform my state of being. Now, as always, with any tool that you use in the outside world, it's a tool and it's up to you to do the work. Take those steps into implementing all that conscious information those books are telling you, are sharing with you. It's up to you to use that in your own life. But here are the 7 books that left me with this feeling. You know, the term, you may not remember exactly what someone does or what something has done, but you'll remember how it makes you feel. These books, they left me with this incredible feeling of connectedness with my own being, of a sense of certainty and knowing that I create this world that I live in, that my reality is all my inner world. So I want to go big with the first one, my favorite one, by my favorite author and who I feel is my mentor. The first one, The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle. The Power of Now is very foundational to what I share on this channel. The joy of being, less searching and more being. This book, it really allowed me to go within and recognize that alert presence within me that didn't need a story, didn't need problems or challenges, didn't need goals, failures, or achievements to be alert and aware. That was the first step. The first step in your spiritual awakening process is sensing that presence, and that is exactly what The Power of Now did for me. Eckhart has an incredible way of clearly explaining this insight of him going within his own spiritual awakening process, within his own experience of being homeless on a bench and becoming enlightened. So for me, I feel like The Power of Now is something that many of us have read. I feel like if, when you go to school and before school you have to read, you're going to the 5th grade or the 6th grade and you have to read certain books before going in. That's how I feel about The Power of Now. This is a must read. I think everyone should read it. I have underlines and highlights all in this book. It's a timeless book where you go back to. I have this on a physical copy, my Kindle, and Audible. So I highly recommend this book for recognizing your essence and transcending this ego consciousness. Number 2. We're gonna go big with Eckhart Tolle again. New Earth, A New Earth. Another incredible piece of work done by Eckhart Tolle. As you can see, I have some tabs here. I have a lot of highlights and things like that, but what I gained from this is a clear understanding of the ego, of ego consciousness on a personal level and collectively. From this book, I was able to look within and identify my own pain, identify my own unconsciousness, so I can then be aware of it and not be controlled by it, not be consumed by it. It also helped me to look out into the outside world and see how ego consciousness is then collectively, an example of it collectively within businesses, within the government, within everywhere in this world that we live in. Eckhart really went into giving these examples of judgment and complaining and how that truly feeds the ego. You know, the ego consciousness, it's completely unaware. You know, it's unaware of the fact that we are a part of something much bigger than ourselves. Our ego consciousness believes we are limited to this body and this mind. And I think that this book is another incredible piece of work to really catapult your spiritual awakening process, because this is what you need to really get down into the root of your pain. Eckhart also explains the pain body. It's the accumulation of the pain from our past, and many times we move through the world through the filter of the pain from our past. And he talks about how instead of living in the past, we step out into the timeless present moment where it's gentle, where it's forgiving, and none of that is you. You realize how none of that is you, but it is an experience from the past that is part of this lifetime. Number 3, the third book that helped me to transform my state of being is Reality Transsurfing. Now this book has like 700 or so pages in it. It took me a bit to read it. I really took my time with it. I have so many videos about Reality Transsurfing, but Vadim Zeland is amazing with this piece of work. I really understood the workings of the universe in depth, and understanding, number one, pendulums. I've spoken about pendulums before, and I think this is very memorable when it comes to Reality Transsurfing. When I think Reality Transsurfing, one of the first things I think of are pendulums, right? Pendulums are an independent entity, and they are created from the thoughts of others. These people, they have their own thoughts, and eventually it becomes independent. And the people who think these thoughts, they get sucked in to this pendulum, and they're unaware. You know, for example, what's happening now with the coronavirus, that is a pendulum. You know, many people, they will feel fear and anxiety and anger from this, and not realizing that they are pulled into this energy field that is essentially a pendulum. Vadim Zeland, he also talks about the alternative space, where every event that could ever happen, that's happened in the past, that's happened in the present, it occurs there. And he talks about our ability to shift our reality through our thoughts, because our thoughts create our reality. You know, during this time, I was starting up this YouTube channel, and it really helped me to share with everyone, you know, how I was feeling. It helped me to put words to my experience, and it also was amazing to my own personal life, because at the time I was garage sailing. So it really helped me understand how my thinking can help me to shift my reality and not make me feel so anxious. You know, I was garage sailing in order to bring in an income. And so many times with that, it's up and down. But Reality Transsurfing, it was incredible when it came to depicting and sharing how I am in control of my reality, because my inner world is a mirror of my own outer world. Vadim Zeland also went on to talk about the power of intention, as well as aligning our heart and our mind. So for those of you who want to go in and are ready to dedicate some time to this, I mean, I highly recommend this book. Don't be intimidated by the size. There's a free audio version on YouTube, so check that out. But highly recommend for your awakening experience. You will not be tethered to this world. You will understand that your reality is all yours, and no one can take that from you. Number 4, This book is called Your Soul's Plan: Discovering the Real Meaning of the Life You Planned Before You Were Born by Robert Schwartz. Now, this book is another book that left me with this incredible feeling of just ease, of understanding and clarity as to why my life is the way it is, why I go through the challenges that I do, why I face the things that I face. Robert Schwartz, he shares his research on his collaboration with other people who channel, and they were able to work with individuals who were open to sharing their story, open to sharing what their soul chose and why their soul chose to live the life they live. This is especially helpful for those who are going through tragedies and a sense of suffering and really want to know why. Why is this happening to me? You know, many of these individuals in the book, their soul chose addiction. Their soul chose illness. Their soul chose death, having a death of a parent or a child. So understanding why, and also really feeling within you that you are living the life you chose. Ultimately, the essence of who you are, your soul ultimately chose this life. So it really helps you to go through these challenges with more acceptance than resistance. Now, of course, this book is a little bit more esoteric, but for me, I felt this, and if I could feel it, that's all I need. I don't need validation from the outside world. I was able to reflect and look into my own life and see why I have the mom that I do, why I have the family situation that I do, why I have the challenges that I do, why I have the gift that I have. It's incredible, and it's very helpful for you to sit back and reflect. And it's really, for me, it was about acceptance and understanding. Number 5 is The 7 Spiritual Laws of Success by Deepak Chopra. I don't have the physical copy, but this book is small yet mighty. It has powerful information about the workings of the universe. And this was actually the book where I first heard the word effortless ease. When I heard that word, I was like, whoa, because that's how I want to live. You know, he spoke about the law of least effort. You know, when we move through the world through harmony, love, and joy, the things we want to achieve, the way we want to move through the world, it becomes effortless. There's an ease to it. He also talks about the law of detachment. This is when you are living with uncertainty. I remember when I first read this book, it was the first time I really had a shift in my life's journey where I went the opposite direction of where I had always been planning to go in my life. And this was a time where I had to learn how to embrace uncertainty. So he spoke about how certainty is really conditioned in our mind to always know what's next. But if we're open to living a life of uncertainty, we have endless possibilities come our way because we're more open. You know, he spoke about our unique talents and our special gifts, that when we use it and when we share it with others, we use it to help others, we feel this sense of joy in our spirit. Something I feel whenever I create videos, whenever I read, whenever I write, whenever I share. So I highly encourage another book, as well as the other ones. I highly encourage this book. It's a good, quick read. It makes you feel refreshed. I actually read it 2-3 times because it's so small, and it's really nice to just have a reminder. Number 6, A Return to Love by Marianne Williamson. This book went into depth about love. And you know, before I read this book, when I thought about love, I thought it was just like corny. You know, I was so used to hearing the conventional term of love, you know, like love people, love, forgive, yada yada. You know, the term love, it had a certain amount of weight on me, but I didn't truly understand the depth unto it until I read A Return to Love. Marianne Williamson, she really went into how love and fear are complete opposites, and how if someone is not acting in love, they are acting through fear. You know, many times when we find that we're approached with someone who's grumpy, who's angry, who's rude, who really just lowers our vibration, many times they are shielding and protecting themselves from their past, from trauma, from pain, from suffering, because they're not feeling love. You know, she really spoke about not punishing people. I feel like we live in a world that punishes people, right? We have like cancel culture. You know, it's such a huge thing on social media. Everyone's always looking to punish and put this sense of guilt on people. But what I love that she said is that someone's action is either love or a call for love. People either, what they need is to be shown love, to be shown correction in a more rehabilitating way, not a way to weigh them down and make them feel guilty, because that's not how we are all going to evolve, how we're going to transcend. I really understood what compassion, what it meant to be compassionate. So this is a book that, yet again, it left me with this feeling. I felt love, I smiled. Another book that I had highlights and underlines and just clarity on how to shift my perspective on how I see people that, you know, used to irritate me. I understood forgiveness, you know, what it means to truly forgive. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is not for the other person, it's for you. It's all about that love you feel within yourself, because what you feel for you is a reflection of how you feel for other people. And last one, number 7. Last but definitely not least, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself by Dr. Joe Dispenza. Now, what I loved about this, and a lot of these books I was reading at the same time, so they all came together and I was just like whoosh, just having this incredible insight and realization. It was beautiful. I was reading Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself along with, I believe, Your Soul's Plan by Robert Schwartz. I don't know, I just remember that going back and forth, it was amazing. But anyways, Dr. Joe Dispenza, he really talks about the power of thought and feeling. That's what I remember a lot, the power of thought and feeling, right? How thoughts, they are electric signals that go out into the quantum field, and they basically, it's like they go out into the quantum field and they pick out that reality that's in our mind. And what pulls it back, this magnetic force that pulls it back, is our feelings. That feeling of joy, that feeling of certainty, that feeling of gratitude. He spoke about this technique, how feeling grateful for what you want before you actually get it is a powerful way to manifest. He really gave this breakdown. You know, if you want to have this more understanding the body and the mind in terms of your thoughts and how your inner work will physically change your brain chemistry, will physically change your genes and your DNA. This is what Dr. Joe Dispenza explains in this book. He truly shares what it means to align our mind and our body so that we learn how to change the way, literally change the way we see ourselves, transforming our state of being, the way we're thinking, the way we're acting, the way we feel, so we can once again create our reality. Now, be sure to like down below if you read any of these books. And also, like down below if you plan on reading any of these books. I hope I convinced you some way, somehow, how incredible these books were. And make sure, you know, when you read these books, put in that inner work. They're bringing consciousness into this world. This is like a ripple effect. When I read a book, I'm influenced, my life transforms, and I have something to share with you. And now you have something to share with everyone else. And so as this is how we bring consciousness into the world, this is how we awaken, this is how we realize our inner essence. So be sure, like down below, comment down below if any of these books were your favorite, if any of these books stood out and really sparked your mind for wanting to read them. So my name is Morsi. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below, and also check out these 2 videos right here. Until next time, peace.